So you're moving to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Maybe you're moving to our suburbs or our city. Well, there are 7 things we want you to know before you make your move here. It's a very unique city. We hear it all of the time from clients relocating here that it's just a very unique place, and there are not many places in the world like Pittsburgh. So these 7 things are 7 things you're gonna wanna absolutely know before moving here, and we're going after it right now. Hey guys, it's Riley Madden with eXp Realty right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to learn everything on what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, and play, all right here in Pittsburgh, make sure you start by tapping that subscribe button and click that little bell so you're notified every time we come out with a new video. We get calls, texts, emails, DMs every single day from people moving and relocating to Pittsburgh, and we absolutely love it. If you're considering a move to Pittsburgh or our suburbs, make sure you start by giving us a call, shooting us a text, sending us an email, DMing us on social media, however you want to get a hold of us. We've got your back when making a move to Pittsburgh. All right, we're gonna start with number 7 on the list, but let me tell you, number 1 on the list is probably my favorite thing about Pittsburgh, so make sure you stay because you do not want to miss that. So number 7 is our layout. So in Pittsburgh, we have a very weird layout that's very different from other major cities. Our downtown section is actually a triangle. You have the point, which is where the 3 rivers meet, and from there you have a triangle that forms, and that's where our buildings actually lay, and those are surrounded by rivers, and then you obviously see the many mountains and hills. It is a very unique looking city. Our downtown area is full of your industrial and commercial buildings, so there's really no residential homes along the waterfront. You're mainly going to see your commercial buildings. Then you have a ton of bridges in the downtown area too. So whenever you look up pictures of Pittsburgh or you're looking at the city, what you'll notice is our triangle shaped downtown that is surrounded by rivers, that it's surrounded by hills, and then you have tons of yellow bridges throughout. So it is a very funny layout, but it comes together well and it looks absolutely beautiful. I hear people from all over the world, all they say is how they've never seen a city laid out like that. So due to the layout of the city, it does make maneuvering around kind of difficult. Our downtown, since it is a triangle, it's just difficult to get there throughout all of our bridges, and on top of that, due to our infrastructure and our layout and how we're kind of carved in the middle of these mountains, you have plenty of steep hills, sharp turns, tunnels, quick merges, many one-way roads. It's very difficult driving around. You do get used to it, but at first it could just really look difficult. Once you kind of drive around many of times and learn the layout of the city and how to get from point A to point B, it does get a lot easier and a lot less stressful. But looking at it for the first time and driving on those roads for the first time where you're going over tons of bridges, going through different tunnels, you have the quick merges where you have to get over, does make it difficult. Many major cities throughout the United States actually do have interstates and beltway systems that do encircle around the city center, so it makes it a lot more simple to get into the city. However, due to our layout and our individualistic nature, we do things a bit differently. So our major highways that are surrounding the city, like I-79, I-279, and I-376, only offer a few off-ramps that lead into our city proper. So unfortunately, you have no other option. You must navigate some of Pittsburgh's side streets and our main roads in order to get to your destination if you are going downtown and into the city. But the good thing about it is, if you are avoiding traffic, we do have a ton of different side streets and different side routes that you could take that may add some time onto your route, but it avoids that traffic and that city congestion that you do see. Bringing us into number 6, it's going to be our driving conditions and our traffic. Our traffic really isn't bad, and it's probably the least prominent in other major cities when you're comparing. We do not have bad traffic whatsoever. Of course, during rush hour is where you're going to see the main congestion in the city and past our tunnels. So if you don't know, we have a few tunnels in Pittsburgh, and they usually cause some sort of tunnel traffic, being that a lot of residents like to slow down before they enter the tunnel, even though it doesn't make sense because the tunnels aren't really enclosing you in, but they all seem to slow down, which just causes cars to line up for a while, especially going east. You'll see some bad tunnel traffic there. I would say the worst of our traffic would be whenever there are accidents, when you have those closures. Our tunnel traffic, especially during rush hour, and whenever there are construction holdups, that will mainly cause the biggest delays. We do always have some sort of construction in the city or around it, but I would say the most annoying of our traffic is the tunnel traffic. I know people coming from places like LA, even Philadelphia, New York, just different major cities with actual bad traffic that thinks Pittsburgh traffic is absolutely nothing. It's not like we have so many people. So our city, our population is around 300,000 people, and that's a very small population for a city. So that's a reason why we do not have bad traffic, because there's not too many people in the city. And there's different places where you could live, where you could avoid the tunnels altogether. So if you are looking for the easiest commute to work, we could literally place you in the spot where you will not even have to deal with any of the tunnel traffic. Like up north, you don't have to deal with that. So we know the spots to put you, where if you tell us 2 or 3 things that you like and the commute time, what you're looking like for work, we could place you in the perfect neighborhood where you could just bypass all of that. Number 5, this is a great one. It's going to be our affordability. Okay, so Pittsburgh's incredibly affordable. That's all I hear from people coming over here from different cities and even different countries. People from all over the world we help move to Pittsburgh. And the affordability is a very, very good thing. It's actually a reason why people do choose to relocate here, is because you're living in these major cities, even Philadelphia, New York City, all of these major cities, Phoenix, Arizona, Atlanta, Georgia, Nashville. And right now, especially, you see these cities becoming increasingly expensive, and a lot of people need to make a change, but they don't want to leave the city environment that they are comfortable with. So they are looking for more affordable cities, and that's when they stumble across Pittsburgh, because we're constantly ranked as one of the most affordable cities in the world and in the country. So it's still a city, but we just have that luxury of being affordable, especially our housing. So you get a lot more real estate and that ability to purchase a home that you might not be able to in these other major cities. This year in 2022, we were actually ranked the most affordable city in the world to buy a home. It's a great thing because you're getting more space for you and your family, maybe a safer area than what you're used to from where you're coming from, and maybe better schools. Homes are well spaced apart, more acreage, all for a very affordable cost. And that's why we do see a lot of families coming over here too. According to bestplaces.net, our cost of living is actually 12.5% lower than the national average. So our cost of living here is actually lower than the national average, which you rarely see in cities. We actually did do a full video on the cost of living in Pittsburgh this year, so I'll leave that in the description below. With our affordable housing, we do see many people being able to purchase homes instead of just renting. Now we see a lot of young professionals. We do have a very strong job market that is bringing in a lot of tech sector work, workers and different engineers. So with that strong job market and affordable housing, it's allowing these younger professionals to be able to actually purchase a home rather than sit there and rent for 10 years before being able to save up and actually buy a home in a different city. Here in Pittsburgh, you're able to start buying a house right away and building that equity, which is huge. And that's why a lot of people after college actually do stay in Pittsburgh, because they love the city and everywhere else is just so inflated and expensive. But in Pittsburgh, we see a lot of them being able to buy a house right out of college and really get to start building that equity from a young age, just contributing to your quality of life. We also do see a lot of real estate investors loving our market because our appreciation is right up there with the national average, but our costs are so low. It's actually cheaper to buy a house in Pittsburgh than rent one. You have a lot of investors snatching up property. My dad actually has been investing in Pittsburgh real estate for over 25 years now, and he likes to purchase properties, hold them for rentals, and it has been a fantastic opportunity, and it's a great career to get into as well. So if you are looking into real estate investing, I know I get a lot of people from out of the state and out of the country who really want to start investing in Pittsburgh because of our stable housing market. We have affordable prices, high appreciation rates, and being able to own real estate for a great price. You don't find that in many cities, but Pittsburgh is one of them. So if you're looking for affordable housing and just an affordable city to live, Pittsburgh is it. Number 4 on the list is going to be our skyline and our views of the city. Now, I want you to know this because we have one of the best skylines in the world and some of the most breathtaking views in the world. So whether you're from the top of Mount Washington and you're just admiring the skyline, we actually have overlook pods. A lot of people get like graduation photos there. It's just a very popular spot for photos, prom, engagement, and just a nice night out in the city. So those are going to be right on Grandview Avenue on Mount Washington. And what's nice is there are actually fine dining restaurants along there too. So you have the best restaurants on top of the best view in Pittsburgh. Our different mix and variety of your industrial buildings, your more modern, and just the different styles of architecture just make up the most beautiful skyline. Another great viewpoint is coming out of the Fort Pitt tunnels. So you literally see nothing. You see no sign of the city whatsoever. You go into these tunnels, you come out, and it's one of our most beautiful views. Anyone who's visited Pittsburgh or my people coming from out of town, whenever they get here, they're just like wowed by the views and just the pretty city. Our city does feature many iconic and historical buildings, and the mixes of architecture really just leaves that immaculate skyline to be admired. You'll see the most new and modern buildings right next to buildings that were built in the beginning of the 20th century. During the day, you're going to see the most beautiful views whenever the sun is shining and it's shining over the rivers and the hills and the distinct yellow bridges and then all of your buildings. It is a beautiful sunshiny day, but our night views are literally my favorite. There's nothing like being in the city at night, especially if you're eating at one of our fine restaurants on Grandview Avenue, the top point of Mount Washington. You'll have all of your glass windows overlooking the city, and it's mixed with different glimmering lights and different colors and the rivers. It's just so pretty. Number 3 on the list is going to be our food scene. You have to know about our food here in Pittsburgh. We're definitely a foodie city, and we have some of the best food in the nation. I mean, right now you see every corner of the city just exploding with upscale cafes, pizzerias, and bistros. And I'm loving it because we have so many chef-driven restaurants and so many places, whether you're downtown, throughout our city proper, or even our suburbs, that just have the best food options ever. If you haven't heard of our classic Permani sandwich and Permani Bros as it is, we're gonna have to touch on that. So Permani's is kind of from back in the day, from the steel workers when they had to give them something high calorie to eat and fill them up so that they get back to work. But these sandwiches are funny because it's 2 Italian pieces of bread with your grilled meat, your cheese, your tomato, your coleslaw, and then your French fries right in there. And the French fries really make it what it is, a signature sandwich. We put French fries on so many things in Pittsburgh, but you have to go to Permani's and check out the signature sandwiches there because it is a must try. And then you have our classic Pittsburgh salad, which is a salad with our French fries on top. Like I said, we put French fries on a lot. Not the healthiest of options, but we have plenty of healthy options, whether you're gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian. There are tons of more upscale places that just cater to us people with our food sensitivities. We are known for a number of food startups like the Big Mac, the Banana Split, Heinz Ketchup. We're very famous for pierogies. You'll see some really different cool food trucks throughout the city, and people coming over to our city usually always rave about the food, and they're just highly impressed with not only the history our food has, but the taste and the presentation. Our food is something Pittsburghers really take pride in. We do have some amazing cafes. We're very big on coffee here. We're ranked one of the best cities for coffee, but I can attest for this. You'll see a coffee shop on every block, and some neighborhoods literally will have like 10 coffee shops on one street, which I'm okay with. I love my coffee, need my coffee. You have your chain coffee shops, of course, but the best are like the little mom and pop shops that you go into. We do have plenty of iconic bakeries in Pittsburgh, including Prantle's, which actually came out with the burnt almond torte cake, which Pittsburgh is known for as well. We have tons of different bakeries, coffee shops, craft breweries, wineries, fine dining, your laid back dining, your pizzerias, anything you could think of food-wise and drink-wise, it's all in Pittsburgh. And then like throughout our suburbs, we have great options for food, and you will see wineries more in our country part of our suburbs, like Westmoreland County. They have Green Dance Winery, and then you have Bellaterra Winery. North of the city, you have Narcisi Winery. There actually is the Pittsburgh Winery, which is in the city. So many different drink options, food options. We're big on our craft beer. So if you like food a lot, you're a big foodie, it is all right here in Pittsburgh, so you're going to love it. Okay, quick change of scenery, because as I was editing, I realized that the video cut out on this part. So the next thing you're gonna wanna know about Pittsburgh is going to be our people and the overall vibe here. The vibe of Pittsburgh is unmatched and nowhere else is like it, and that's why everyone says that Pittsburgh feels like home, especially people coming here for college. A lot of them end up staying because it's just such a friendly, welcoming city that really has that homey feel with very welcoming residents where you never wanna leave. Whether you're going to grab a drink, you're going to a coffee shop, or you're walking around the city, you will definitely make a few friends. The Pittsburgh people are very talkative, they're very welcoming, they're honest. There's no fluff with Pittsburgh people. We're very honest, open, and just tell it the way it is. And people aren't too reserved and keep to themselves too much. We're very open, talkative, and you just see Pittsburgh as like a community. It has that very community feel, and even though we are considered a major city, we feel like a small town because of how great, talkative, and welcoming our residents are. So I know that could be a big struggle, is moving to a new place and meeting new friends. I mean, whenever you move to a new place, it is very intimidating because you're leaving a lot behind and you may be worried about not knowing anyone starting over. But Pittsburgh is a perfect place to start over since our residents are so welcoming, friendly, interesting, cultured, and great people. Even whenever I am visiting different cities and I come back to Pittsburgh, as soon as I'm in that airport, I'm just so happy because I love our residents here. The overall vibe and the people in Pittsburgh cannot be matched or beat. And then number one, so the last thing you're going to want to know about Pittsburgh is going to be our nature. So our nature is something you just need to go out and experience. We have so much nearby. If you're a nature lover and you love to enjoy the outdoors, it is a perfect place for you. But not only do we have a ton of different parks that are thousands of acres in the city limits and outside of our suburbs, like our North Park, our South Park, and you have skiing resorts such as Seven Springs, Hidden Valley, and those are less than 2 hours from the city of Pittsburgh. We are really close to Ohio, which is over 20,000 acres. You have biking trails. It honestly feels like a vacation whenever you go there. I love going to Ohio, and I like Seven Springs and Hidden Valley as well. But Ohio has the most beautiful waterfalls. You have hiking trails, biking trails. You could do water rafting there, and you could even do horse riding there. And then we even have the Laurel Caverns, which is Pennsylvania's largest cave, and that's really close. You have the Pittsburgh Botanical Garden, the National Aviary, a 93-acre Fall Run Park, which is close to Shaler. Of course, you have Frick Park and Shenley Park, which are in our city, so they're right around that Squirrel Hill area, and it's perfect because Squirrel Hill is literally sandwiched in between both parks. So if you do want to be in the city and close to these parks with quick access, Squirrel Hill is a great place. But no matter kind of what you want to be close to, we could get you in that perfect neighborhood based on your lifestyle, where you're working, if you like nature, if you like to be more laid back, or if you really like to be a part of the city. Tell us 2 or 3 things and we could get you in that perfect spot. We have long biking trails that will take you all the way past Washington, D.C. We also have Lake Erie about 2 hours away from Pittsburgh, and huge large lake. You have a little beach area. It's phenomenal there too. So if you do love nature, you just need to get out and experience it. Coming with a family, it's literally the perfect combination. You have your affordable housing, you have great schools, you have safe neighborhoods, you have amazing nature, and just a very family-friendly centered city. Since we have a lower population, it's a lot more safer and a great alternative to a larger city. Whether you're coming to Pittsburgh with a family, by yourself, with just your significant other, or maybe you're retiring in Pittsburgh, it truly has so many great things to offer for people of all walks of life. So if you are planning a move to Pittsburgh, you have to reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, DM us on social media, however you want to get a hold of us. We've got your back when making a move to Pittsburgh, and you can start discovering more about our beautiful city, everything you need to know about our different neighborhoods, our housing market, and more by watching our next videos here. And we'll catch you in the next one.